Good morning and welcome to Market Mashup, our weekly recap of financial markets and what we want to look forward to with events this week that might impact, the stock and bond markets. I'm Scott Naska, president of Generation Capital Management. Last week was a familiar trend that's been taking place for most of 2022 so far. All major markets and indices were lower. Once again, it's the three I's that I mentioned a few weeks ago that are really impacting the what's going on in the markets, and that's the international conflicts with the Ukraine and Russia right now, inflation and interest rates. It's no surprise that there's a lot of anxiety in the markets right now. We see it every day on the TV when there's the stories about what's happening in Ukraine and Russia with the bombardments, the military, basically excursion or incursion into the into Ukraine, and markets do not like the volatility there. Oil prices continue to move higher. Foodstuffs, the wheat and corn, they are all moving higher too. What that does is it makes investors have to pay more for the essentials, and it doesn't give them a lot of excess money to use on really the non-essentials, and that impacts a lot of the businesses out there, and the markets don't like uncertainty. So keep an eye on this. The more that we're paying at the price of the pump, it seems to have that, impact that markets continue to go down as oil prices continue to go higher. More that you're spending at the grocery store, it all has a negative impact on stocks at this point in time. So the inflation is a key indicator that we want to continue to watch. And, we're not sure if the Federal Reserve is going to be able to handle or neuter the high inflation in such a short period of time by raising interest rates. So there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets right now, and I think it's acting accordingly based off of the anxiety that's out there in the investing public. Well, we've got to look forward to this week. We've got a couple indicators coming out towards the end of the week. Consumer Price Index is going to be coming out. That's a gauge in terms of inflation. And you want to make sure and see if it continues to rise. We looked at over 7% year over year over the last 12 months. That came out last month. We want to see if this continues to go higher, and if it does, it's going to be a negative. And then also the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index coming out. It's just going to give an indication in terms of the confidence that the consumer has, and it's a good tool that the markets like to look at for sentiment. And when it's usually positive and investors have a good attitude, it tends to be positive for the market. So if we see this number continue to drop, it's something else that's going to be weighted on the market. So once again, it's tough markets right now. All of the major indices went down last week. It's, like I said, a familiar tune that we've been playing for 2022. We just try and tell people, make sure that their risk allocations are appropriate for their portfolios, and just try and steer clear of this. This happens periodically. You just have to look to the longer term. If you have any questions, please feel free to look at our website, www.gencapmgmt. We've got a lot of nice resources up there with blogs and videos. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us through our website. You can always contact us, and we'd be happy to sit down with you or have a conversation with you. Once again, I'm Scott Naska, president of Generation Capital Management, and this is Market Mashup.